Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the top 10 red flags Meghan Markle should have seen in Prince Harry. Starting off with number 10, unconscious bias versus racism. One particular part of Prince Harry's interview with ITV journalist Tom Bradby about his tell-all memoir Spare, his marriage, and his separation from the royal family stood out. Bradby said that Harry had said that some of his family members were racist, but Harry firmly shook his head. He said the two things are different between racism and unconscious bias. He continued by arguing that if the offender was made aware of their bias and they did nothing about it, it could develop into racism. Now, there has been a lot of debate surrounding Harry and Bradby's exchange. People have questioned, with good reason, whether Harry's family members were really unaware of their own biases, whether it mattered, and whether their views could be separated from racism in op-eds on television and on Twitter. Racism occurs when someone displays racial bias, whether they are aware of it or not. However, highlighting a conscious bias will not eliminate racism. Instead, challenging the systems and institutions that have made racism common sense is what anti-racism means, just in case you didn't know the difference. Harry does not place the claim that members of his family have unconscious bias in the larger context of institutional racism when he makes it. When we take into consideration who exactly he is referring to, this becomes even more concerning. Number 9, public scandals. After their relationship became public, Markle claimed that paparazzi followed her to the suit set while she was filming. They paid for some neighbors to have a live stream camera installed in their backyard, which was a scary experience for her. My face was everywhere and tabloids had taken over, Meghan claimed. Harry, who acknowledged that he had to go to her to inquire about some of the things that were written and said, stated that even though the news about Markle had spread, the couple was still in the getting to know each other stage of their relationship. Number 8, marrying royalty. Due to the fact that his privilege is something most people can only dream of, Prince Harry has been urged to stop the woe is me narrative. In her most recent piece for Sky News Australia, royal contributor and commentator Angela Levin makes this assertion. She began by stating Spare refers to the heir to the throne in royal households. It is not disparaging. It is highly unlikely that Meghan would have given Harry a second glance if he had not been a prince. Do you think that's true? Let me know in the comments. The royal family also did not consider Harry to be second best, contrary to the title. He was simply unique. Throughout her piece, Prince Harry also made mention of previous admissions, such as when he guest edited the BBC News program Today in December 2017 and asked his father to accompany him. At the time, Harry replied, the then Prince Charles called him my darling boy. I do find myself consulting you more frequently than I ever have before. Additionally, he stated to me, William is the only person I can really trust and talk to about anything. Who or what has caused him to become so hostile toward his family? After the late Queen, he was the most popular royal until he married Meghan in 2018. Despite this, he seems to cling on to the past, which simply cannot be changed after 5 years. On his travels, Harry has seen severe poverty all over the world, which should have jolted him out of his oh poor me feelings and made him appreciate all of his privileges. Yet, there are questions. Is the book all about trying to outdo William and his father and make money? Has he ever desired to be the king's firstborn and heir? I don't think so, given my knowledge of him. Therefore, he gotta stop groaning. Number 7, making people feel uncomfortable. Prince Harry and Meghan are beginning to make the entire elite of Hollywood uncomfortable. Kinsey Sheffield, a royal commentator and the host of the podcast To Die For Daily, is making this assertion. She confessed to Fox News, beginning with the question, did intensely private Beyoncé give Meg permission to read a text message that she sent the Duchess verbatim to millions of Netflix subscribers? It is highly unlikely. After Gayle King claimed that her friends, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, had receipts, she appeared on morning television. Does Gayle King enjoy being grilled by the internet when Harry tells ITV there isn't a royal racist? Ms. Sheffield added, they are putting people in uncomfortable situations before coming to a conclusion. Number 6, royal issues. Some might say Prince Harry and Meghan are a dynamic duo. They have demonstrated resilience in the face of numerous family issues. But it seems as if it's important to understand that it can be a red flag if your partner's family does not like you. Sure, you might be the problem, but let's consider the history of the royal family. For one, more than one member of this family has had racist allegations against them. 2, Meghan is mixed race. And 3, when Harry wanted his family to speak out about the injustices happening to Meghan, including harassment from the media outlets, they didn't take him seriously, which just sounds like the couple's feelings were invalidated even after Harry pointed out a lot of the harassment, which has to do with Meghan's ethnicity. Yeah, big red flag. I am too sensitive to deal with this kind of stuff, so in a sense, it's totally understandable why Meghan left the royal household and stepped down from her royal duties. But Meghan should have also done a little bit more research on this family before committing to a lifelong relationship with them, because she more than likely wouldn't have suffered as much as she has been after becoming Duchess. On to number 5, emotionally immature prince. Prince Harry appears to be emotionally immature and does what other people want him to do rather than what he wants to do. Sure, he may have wanted to leave the royal family for a while, but can we talk about how he never actively chose to expose the family throughout any of his other romantic relationships? Only after meeting Meghan and feeling the need to protect his family did the prince decide to act on his desire. There may be many reasons for this. Prince Harry might be driven to save Meghan because his mother, Princess Diana, could not be saved. Because of the negative feelings they have about the royal family and the increased publicity surrounding the book, the couple is seen as codependent, which seems to be the driving force in their relationship. They heavily rely on their experiences in the royal household to make content for platforms that'll provide them with an income. Meghan's husband does not have a strong relationship with his family, and even though both parties are to blame, it has to be a red flag that they were okay with cutting ties with him and Meghan rather than coming to a compromise that would keep both sides of the family happy. Number 4, Queen Elizabeth. A lot of people questioned how healthy Harry and Meghan's relationship is, even the late Queen Liz. The Queen's assertion was that he is too in love with Meghan. Well, I want to say that is better than Queen Elizabeth's son, King Charles, who famously said whatever love means when asked if Diana and him were in love. That is definitely a worse reality. And also look at how the relationship turned out. When she heard that Harry and Meghan were getting married, Queen Elizabeth was truly delighted. However, she was under the impression that Harry was perhaps a little over in love because of how he blindly follows what she wants to do. And this was as far as she came to ever uttering a word against the new Duchess of Sussex. Was Queen Elizabeth implying that the passionate love between the couple was actually a red flag? I wouldn't be surprised, since a lot of the older generations of royals didn't seem to marry for love, but instead for fulfilling duties and social class. The older folk just wouldn't get it. But then again, the late queen might have been onto something, because the fact that Harry's relationship is now strained with his whole family makes it seem like Meghan is the reason for that. Is her assumption a red flag, or did she make some points? Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 3, codependent couple. Prince Harry and Meghan have confirmed that their romance seems like something out of a fairy tale, despite the royal family's position. The couple talked about how they got together in an interview with BBC in 2018. Harry said, "The fact that I fell in love with Meghan so incredibly quickly was confirmation to me that all the stars were aligned. Everything was just perfect." However, particularly since the release of Harry and Meghan, speculation regarding the possibility of a codependent relationship between Harry and Meghan has emerged as a popular topic on Twitter. They have the most unhealthy codependent relationship I've ever seen, was one user's tweet. I suspect Harry has been literally transformed by what he believes to be his intense love for Meghan. Another person wrote, adding, "completely codependent on her." So what will the future hold for Harry and Meghan? Their marriage will last maybe several more years is one of the many predictions made about this couple for a variety of reasons, including their likely codependency. On to number 2, MEGXIT. Is Meghan to blame? It's hard to avoid the conclusion that, having grown up in a country that considers the Kennedys aristocracy, Meghan didn't understand that being a Windsor is not like being a celebrity. Not only the Brits were dissatisfied with MEGXIT either. People find the Sussexes much less interesting now that they aren't senior royals, and that Markle was to blame. That's not something you want to hear when you get married to someone whose life revolves around the spotlight, and as we can see with how it's playing out for them, it's hard to get the public to like you if you mess up. Celebrities seem to have pressure to be this perfect human being where criticism is highly likely to occur when you aren't perfect, which isn't fair, but that's just how it is. If this is true, then was MEGXIT always planned this way? There seems to be a lot of people who think so, and there is even some kind of proof. Page 6 claims that prior to her wedding, Markle stored some of her clothes in a Toronto storage facility. An insider claimed that when she and Prince Harry arrived in Canada following the announcement, she had the items delivered to their rented property on Vancouver Island. Why did Markle store all of those clothes for 2 years across the Atlantic? It's possible that she hoped to return at some point, but who knows? It's a mystery, and the people need answers, Meg. Was this all part of a bigger plan to get everyone to hate her? Attention is attention, regardless of whether it's good or bad, and some people would do anything for it. But I guess as long as you don't let people's thoughts on you get to your head, it shouldn't be too hard, even though I know that's easier said than done. And on to number 1, selfish prince. Prince Harry wants the British and American publics to believe that the royal family, the palace as an institution, or the firm as it is known, and the British media have all conspired to destroy him and his family. This is the modern dystopian twist. He and Meghan provide only hazy explanations for why and how. They are all based on claims that the monarchy is racist, but none specifically mention members of the royal family. Without the benefit of facts, evidence, a trial, or a jury, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex blame the royal fallout on the family and think they should acknowledge that they are racist in every way, whether this is proven or not. Prince Harry is unable to comprehend the largely symbolic but very real role his father, King Charles, plays as the head of the UK's military forces in light of the Commonwealth's growing political, economic, and military threat. By attacking the Commonwealth and amassing personal wealth in the US, some estimates put it at more than $150 million for the Netflix series alone. They are recklessly jeopardizing a global economic alliance that accounts for nearly 10% of the UK's total foreign trade. Yikes! It seems as if this couple is not considering the lives of other people, especially as someone who has decided his whole life to being of service to the public. It seems more as if he's being of service to his wife and family, which is also important, but it is making him look really bad. And that is all for today's top 10. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.